Okay, guys. Great thing about being 1-0, we got a chance to be 2-0. Got a good road win. We're opening up ACC play. Starting here with Wake Forest at home. Really good opponent. We've got a lot of respect for their program, always have. I know Dave Clawson very well. I know the kind of coach he is, and we've played him now. This is going on our 5th year. They're going to be a well put together, well prepared football team. So this will be quite a good matchup here at home, which is exciting, and we're looking forward to it. We got a big week of preparation ahead of us, but as I said earlier, it's always nice to be preparing with a win under your belt than the other way around, as 60-some-odd teams are right now. So we got a lot of work to do. We took a lot out of that game, a lot of things that we can work on, and we're excited about where we're headed. Okay? Any questions?
Now that we've won all
Yep.
the books, can you explain in your mind what was the competitive advantage of holding on to your quarterback position until the game?
I just think that you never know exactly what that competitive advantage is. There's just no advantage to saying it. I guess I'd look at it like that. What would we have gained by saying something? I don't know what we gained by not, but I know we wouldn't have gained anything by saying something. We knew what we were doing. I mean, there was no mystery on our end, so it's not my obligation to let the world know what we're doing. I think it was important under the circumstances that we had. You never know what is going to affect your opponent, in their mindset. When you sit on the other side of that, like, well, maybe I'll do this then, maybe I'll do that. Whether you'd be right or not, you don't know that, right? But I'm just saying with no decision from us, it's hard to make a decision on the other end. With a decision for us, you can make decisions on the other end. What are they? I don't have the foggiest idea and really don't care. That's why.
The second one was how's John Baker, and I know he came out that one play, came right back in, and it was a tight spot you were in having with Winstrom.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, he's prepared to play. Yeah, he's prepared to play. So he went in, did a great job on that play, and that's where we roll. And like I said, today's Monday. We don't really have the full extent of where we are on any health matters right now. Usually we have a better feel for that, and we release that injury report at the end of the week. So, but my hope is that we'll be at full capacity.
John left the field and came back.
He did, yeah, finished the game, yeah.
Another major turning point appeared to be when you took Lazard out and put Lindstrom over to right tackle and Phillips over to right guard. Why did you decide to make the decision at that point, and is that a lineup that you could see going forward?
Yeah, we just roll. We said going into the game, I think I did say that, we're going to roll those guys. We're going to play with 7 guys. Our goal, we ran 91 or 2 plays, and we have to roll these guys. It just has to happen, so we decided right from the get. In fact, we really were going to play Petrullo. The game got tight and all that. We didn't put him in the game, but our full intent was to play Petrullo and rotate him as well. So, you can count on seeing all that happening. That's going to happen. We're going to play, anywhere from 6 to 7 to 8 offensive linemen. I'm actually, wish we had gotten him in the game. I'm kind of upset that didn't happen because, that was our plan and our intent. And like a lot of things, sometimes when things get real tight, you start to stop the rotations. We played AJ, but our intent is to play him obviously a whole lot more than we did. I mean, so you can count on that as well. I mean, that'll happen.
As you mentioned, to have over 90 plays in the game, if that was the average for the whole season, it would have been better than Baylor, which was #1 last year. Is that the kind of level you want to go at in every single game?
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna push it. Obviously, that's going to get dictated by how many times you can get first downs. You get 3 and outs. You're not going to ratchet up very many plays. That's part of the deal with that whole thing. But one thing we were able to do was get first downs. What we had a harder time doing was sustaining some good drives. We had some good drives that failed due to penalties or due to some drops. What's hidden in there, and that's fine, is that we had a few opportunities, to really. We gave away 100 yards of offense that way, and that's game 1, but that's got to change because we want that back. Usually, you have a chance to run 91 plays. That's the opportunity to generate more. That's what we're trying to do, is generate more offense, and that'll all come. And you know, we played against an opponent that was pretty good. They're going to win a lot of games, both sides of the ball. That's, you know, that's the thing. At their place at 9:30 our time at night, when on the road with a freshman quarterback. I mean, a lot of things were there in place, and to be able to overcome all of that, we're only going to grow. We're not, you know, that's going to help us. I'm so much happier that it went that way right now, sitting here with a win. I mean, if you don't sit here with a win, you're not. But we're sitting here with a win. The way that win only builds you. It only builds you, because, you know, cakewalks early don't help you at all. They just mask whatever little issues you have. They mask them, and then they come out when you face a good opponent.
I think you've only thrown more than 30 like 3 times.
Yeah.
One, how much of an adjustment was that, even in calling plays on the sideline, just watching stylistically? And I'm sure Scott was in love with it, but like for you, how much of a different philosophy was that?
I mean, everybody thinks like that my philosophy is just run the football. That's not accurate, okay? I've been saying that, but you know, it's whatever. My philosophy is try to do what you have the best chance to do based on the players you have. That's always been my philosophy. And we're finally to the point where we have some receivers, we have some guys that can run and some guys that can catch. We're throwing the ball pretty well right now. So that's encouraging to me to want to be able to utilize that part of our game plan. And but to throw it, just to throw it, you know, in the last few years, it really wouldn't have been the right thing to do based on the talent, you know. And our goal was to have an offense where we would have more balance and where we would be able to attack people the way we are right now. Ultimately, this is what I wanted, where I wanted to be. But you got to get the personnel right. Otherwise, you know, what are you setting? I mean, you know, not to go back, we have this historical conversation a lot, and I probably bore you with it, but, you know, year one, we did what we had to do based on what we had. Year two, we certainly did what we had to do with based on, I can't tell you about, I don't even know what that was. We're playing with a walk-on freshman quarterback at one point. I can't explain that to you, and I lost our tailback. And then last year, we formulated to where we started to piece together where we wanted to head, but we were too young then. And now we're back to where we want to, kind of got the pieces. Now we just want to develop it. It's all about one thing right now, improve it now. You know, get it better. I was really proud of the way Anthony played. He did some really fabulous things, but there's a lot of growth there that has to occur right now. And with a little bit more growth there, which he'll get because he's a real ball guy, and Darius, both those guys, there's a lot of meat on the bone right there. I'm just telling you, in the throw game. And I would say to you that the one piece that, you know, I think I said this right after the game, you know, I felt like we should have run the ball a little better than we did. Inside the tackles, we're fine with our perimeter game, but inside the tackles, that's not good enough where we were. And but that'll improve as well, you know, because we're trying to get both of them up here right now, you know, as opposed to like boom right here, you know. And but that's all going to come. That's all going to come, and I'm excited about that.
You talk about the secondary and just how both in the pass and in run defense, how they seem to be able to step up and make plays, breaking up passes, but then stopping the run as well and lending support to the linebackers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we have a veteran secondary. We had a couple of issues during the game. I think that, you know, they were 2 of 15 on third down. I mean, that tells you something. And it also tells you about the level of, you know, the hidden deal in that game. It's not going to show in the stat line. The hidden deal was the amount of times he was hurried and hit, which led to 2 and 15, okay? That's, you know, we didn't, you know, there was several times where they were max protecting, getting 2-man routes, and the ball was immediate, you know, through quick game, ball out immediately, really making it hard for us to, per se, get the stats on the sacks. But the hits and the hurries took a toll, and that's, at the end of the day, what are they on third down? They're 2 of 15. Now, we had let up a couple of big plays, and a couple of big plays, you know, really, really hurt us. It was a couple of big plays, and it was a couple of humongous penalties that kept, for example, the one big drive, the 16-play drive alive. And So I think we're working well together as a defensive unit right now, complementing each other. And I think the goal is to just alleviate a couple of the big plays, which we'll do, and kind of take away, sort of speak what they're giving us, and I thought we managed that piece of it really well.
And in terms of kind of seeing the Northern Illinois offense first, how does that kind of help translate to the same style as what you'll see with Wake Forest? Are there going to be little differences that you might need to adjust to?
Yeah, there's a little bit difference. I mean, I tell you, I thought they do a heck of a job. I mean, schematically, that quarterback was tough, competitive guy. He could hurt you with his feet. He stood in there, got the ball out, took a lot of hits. I thought they did a great job. I thought he did a great job. I think where I'm going with that commentary is I think Wolford is that kind of guy. He's a real tough, gamey, take a shot, deliver a ball, can hurt you with his feet kind of guy. That's where the similarity is. Schematically, are there some? Yeah, there's some, but a little bit different football team. But, they have a similar kind of quarterback. This kid was bigger, but I love Wolford now. I think that kid's as good a competitive kid as there is out there, and I really think he's a heck of a football player.
Last from me, there were a lot of weird week one results where a lot of favorite teams lost, underdogs coming up. How much of a, weird outcomes do you see in week one? How does it help you moving forward to just get through the first week?
Well, as we said here before, that's what week one is. Week one, if you notice, when you play a solid opponent on the road in week one, it presents a fair amount of challenges. It really does, more than just a passing glance. And so I think what you see is we saw teams struggle in week one that were playing at home. You don't have a great beat on everybody yet, and things can step up on you. I think sometimes if bigger teams are playing smaller teams, it's not the same as when you're getting ready to play a conference opponent that and there's a lot of little factors in week one that and then just sometimes little things have to be worked out. Like, how do you measure this, right? When you, like I said, I think I said this earlier, when you play an inferior opponent, or really an inferior opponent, and you just kind of have your way with them, okay? Your issues I don't care who you are, your issues don't really show up. And you feel pretty good about what you got done. And you don't attack heavily the problems because you don't really see them, okay? And then that can really get you in week 2 and week 3. Whereas, we had a great look at some of the issues we had and where some of the problems came up. We attacked them right away. And we'll spend all week ironing those things out. Now, what does that mean in the big picture? I mean, that can only help you. You don't want to get confronted with that with a better opponent week 2, because if you're playing a good opponent and they stymie a little bit, that usually can cost you. So I think, week 1's full of all of this, and that's why you have a lot more upsets in week 1. Probably still will have a few in week 2, and then that thing will start to smooth out a little bit in week 3. Your goal is to make huge strides of improvement. Barring injuries, you're hoping to make really good improvement from week 1 to week 2. And in order to do that, you got to be highly motivated because you need to. You follow me? If you feel like maybe, hey, we're okay here, that's when I think it can rise right up and bite you hard. So I'm thrilled that we have plenty of stuff out of that game that we know we've got to get better at. I mean, that's great, and the kids know it, because sometimes that's the other piece of this. When they feel pretty good, and then it's like, whoa, but we have their full attention, which is a good thing.
I just noticed your receivers had 10 carries in the football game. Is that the perimeter run game?
Yeah.
Until between the tackles gets established? Or?
No, just period. We want to stretch the field right now, horizontally and vertically. In fact, I really felt like we probably needed a few more vertical throws down the field in that game. So we want you to defend us horizontally, vertically, and interiorly. Otherwise, what happens is, you start getting these blitzathons on you, and we want to want people to defend the whole field. So that's a very, you guys, that's a very important piece of our attack right now. That's not some game plan thing. I mean, defend the field, and here are the different ways it's going to come at you. The formations may change, just because that's game planning and stuff like that. But philosophically, we're going to attack every quadrant of the field in the run game and in the throw game. That's, I'll sit there today and go through that grid and make sure that as we game plan, we are threatening every quadrant of this field right now and are going to actually do it. I think in the past, people would feel like, well, they're not, we don't have to worry about this, we don't have to worry about this, we don't have to worry about this. Well, that's not really the case right now. And I'd say that if they saw anything in week 1, they saw that.
And I just heard your comments after the game about you weren't happy with the kicking game kind of camp. Was Colton just a hunch?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't thrilled during preseason camp. I mean, just, we grade everything. So, I mean, the facts are the facts, that there wasn't a great amount of consistency there. But Colton graded a little better in field goals. And, ultimately I had to make that decision. That's the decision I made. It proved to be right week 1. That doesn't matter anymore. Now we're in week 2. So we'll see what week 2 brings. It's kind of like a lot of these decisions sometimes. Sometimes they're easy. Sometimes they're kind of gray. And sometimes they're really hard. We made a couple of really tough decisions in week 1. And, in week 1, it looks like they were probably fairly accurate, But as you guys, I've been doing this a long time, know week 2 is a whole new set of groceries. So we'll see what week 2 brings, and we'll go from there. I mean, that's all you can do, And here's the beautiful thing. There's a lot of potential out there right now. It's very easy to see. You're talking about young guys, older guys, guys that can make plays, both sides of the ball. There's athleticism, there's speed, there's talent. There's quarterbacks, which is that critical apex of the whole team that has to happen, that have ability. And so that's pretty evident now. Now you're just, work in progress, trying to develop your football team, plain and simple. I mean, like everybody else. And hope to God that you stay as healthy as you can, because that can really shape and affect you pretty hard. All right, guys.